The Denver Broncos addressed arguably their most pressing roster need of the 2019 offseason by orchestrating a trade with Baltimore to acquire Joe Flacco. Flacco, 34, is an 11-year veteran who arrives in Denver with one Super Bowl ring, of which he was named MVP. The defensive coordinator Flacco defeated in Super Bowl XLVII, none other than Vic Fangio. Fangio was the San Francisco 49ers DC at the time, and Flacco entered the NFL championship game on a red-hot streak as a thrower, knocking off both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, in their own houses, on his way to the big dance. Surely that left some kind of impression on Fangio. "I've known Joe for a while," Fangio said at the NFL head coach's breakfast in Phoenix, Arizona. "I was obviously in Baltimore his first 2 years in the league and got to know him some there. Then obviously coaching against him. I haven't coached against him a ton. Obviously the Super Bowl, and then we played Baltimore once while I was in Chicago. I think I've only coached against Joe 3 or 4 times total, but I like Joe. I think Joe's a good football player, a good quarterback, has been productive, has been a winner. I like his personality. I think he'll be a good fit for us." By fit, not only is Fangio speaking to the Broncos' cultural fit, and the mantle of carrying high expectations, but also a schematic fit with new offensive coordinator Rich Scangarello. Scangarello is a Kyle Shanahan acolyte and will be an NFL play caller for the first time this coming season. However, Scangarello's offensive philosophies are ones that Fangio also subscribes to, and they should be familiar to Broncos fans: zone blocking scheme, heavy rushing attack, play action. Taking his cues from Shanahan, Scangarello might dress up the West Coast defense a little differently than, say, Gary Kubiak did, but it'll look very similar. Joe Flacco fits that scheme. His best statistical season as a pro came in 2014 with Kubiak as his OC in Baltimore. "I think offensively, we have a chance to be better than people think we do," Fangio said. "I think the players are better on offense than the perception was when I first got there. What's arguably been lacking in Denver is the coaching. Only the football gods know how much potential production was left on the table last year by the foibles and faux pas of Vance Joseph and Bill Musgrave." Beyond Flacco, the Broncos upgraded the offensive line by signing right tackle Jawan James in free agency. There are some questions surrounding the O-line, but the presence of Mike Munchak alleviates some of those concerns. Another massive upgrade in the coaching department. At the skill positions, the Broncos have a lot more talent than the team's 2018 output would lead some to believe. Not only will Phillip Lindsay, a 1,000-yard rusher and Pro Bowler, return to the offense, but so will fellow 2018 rookies Royce Freeman, RB, Cortland Sutton, WR, and Deshaun Hamilton, WR. If Emmanuel Sanders is truly ahead of schedule on his recovery from a torn Achilles, that's icing on the cake. Sanders will be able to make a lot of hay, as Flacco's no. One target, because not only does Sanders possess blazing speed, he's also one of the best route running receivers in the league. That's a big if, though. On the wrong side of 30, and coming off an injury known for sapping the explosiveness of players, if Sanders can return to even a semblance of his former self, the Broncos should count themselves lucky. Even last year, Flacco was having a strong season before he suffered a hip injury. The Ravens were wildly successful in the red zone, averaging almost 25 points per game before Flacco went down and was subsequently supplanted by rookie Lamar Jackson. The NFL draft is almost here and soon the Broncos will be on the clock. Don't miss out on any news and analysis. Take a second to sign up for our free Broncos newsletter, delivered 3 times daily. I do concur with Fangio at bottom. If the pieces come together the way the Broncos are drawing them up, this offense has the potential to be dangerous. I'm not talking Star Wars numbers of the Peyton Manning years, but rather a little more buttoned down, but nevertheless balanced and explosive version of the Broncos offense. But it all starts with Flacco. I think there's a lot left with Joe. Fangio said, "Joe's got an athletic body. I don't think he's got a body that will slowly break down. Now, that's not to say he can't get injured, but some bodies last longer naturally than others. I think he's got a body that can last a long time. He throws the ball with ease, meaning it's just natural. There's not a lot of torque. Yeah, I think his arm strength has not wavered one bit since he came into the league. And he's hungry. Joe wants to do well. I think a lot of players, they lose their stinger before they lose their talent, and Joe's stinger is still sharp. Right now, it's all theory and speculation. The newfangled Broncos haven't even hit the practice field yet under Fangio. But they'll get to do that sooner than most NFL teams, as by virtue of Fangio being a rookie head coach, the Broncos will open up Phase 1 of OTAs early on April 1st. That'll give most of the players their first chance to engage with the new coaching staff, and begin to forge the bond that a team does in the offseason. The Broncos will only be able to lift and do classroom stuff in Phase 1. Then the NFL draft will roll around on April 25th, and from there the roster will be flooded with rookie talent. Soon after, rookie minicamp will come. And the first real taste of on-field teamwork will follow not long after that. Fangio's quiet confidence in Joe Flacco and the Broncos' offense should encourage the fanbase. This team will have the chance to surprise people in 2019, and perhaps give the AFC West more of a run for its money than some might reckon at this point.